YouTube, what the grudge is going on? Thorgrim Grudge Bearer leading out his dwarf armies. He's going to be taking on none other than Azag the Slaughterer, but this is going to be a slightly different type of Dawi battle. We've got them deployed all over the battlefield here. There's some warriors with great weapons rolling up this flank, more warriors with great weapons. There's some skulkers and night gobos coming up this flank, but then way out here we've also got some rangers with great weapons. Main line is a lot of anti-armor for the dwarves. Warriors with great weapons backed up by grumbling guards and longbeards. There are more rangers with great weapons in the main pack. A Thane with a Tormentor sword, and then Thorgrim with his High King ability. See the mangy marauders here actually being chased and mismicroed, caught by the Dragonback Slayers temporarily. You see there's a lot of light cavalry out here for the Greenskins, and they are looking to do some early damage. They have to these warriors with great weapons because of the armor-piercing ammo, but at the same time, these Slayers are out here. These Goblin Wolf Riders are a lot more brave than they think. If they think they're going to be able to just plow right through a dwarf infantry without the armor-piercing attacks, it's not going to happen. They're going to get caught and killed. And then in terms of the mainline engagement, the greenskin player had initially sat back because he had a lot of archers, and the dwarf player has had to approach. And then, as you can see here, the light cavalry here from the greenskins getting pretty greedy, going after rangers with great weapons. Those guys don't die super easy in melee to that type of thing. I think we're going to get a Fate of Buna over here. Yep. So the main lines are clashing. The black orcs are the secondary line. It looks like there's a cheaper orc line up front. And then Azag is kind of hanging in the back, and his archers are going to fall back. So here comes the black orcs, going to join the fight as reserves, and the longbeards are going to come in as well. And then over here we got the skulkers and the warlords boys, I believe, or the Eight Peaks loonies, one of the two, moving in from the flank. You can see all these rangers with great weapons have been successful. There's some Dragonback Slayers and warriors with great weapons moving towards the flank, but they are getting shot up by goblin archers, which is going to be painful because of the sheer numbers of goblin archers here. By themselves are nothing special. Check out this play right here. The skulkers are about to get an excellent outflanking move here, but the Thane comes over and uses his Tormentor sword, which is almost always used on an enemy lord. But look how it's used here to stop the Skulker flank. And then the Grumbling Guard is peeled out of the main fight and sent over here to deal with the nasty Skulkers who were stopped just long enough. You can see Azag in the middle of the fight trying to help swing it. But at this point, the Orc Boar Chariots end up getting torn up by Rangers with great weapons. The Archers are pushed back. Azag is up in the air right now trying to keep from getting too beat up. And the Grumbling Guard gets in here and puts a smackdown on these Skulkers. It's not going to happen. And then over here, the Rangers with great weapons get a chance to take out Azag because he gets greedy. He's lucky that the Ulthar's Raiders aren't here, because with their abilities, he would probably be dead. You can melt one of these units very, very quickly using that special ability, the Marked by Ulthar. But nonetheless, he's still in a great deal of danger. There's a lot of rangers with great weapons here, and he's taking significant damage. The infantry fight just kind of slogs on. Some of the black orcs break through the main line, and they're going to get after this unit of warriors with great weapons. But over here you can see that the nasty skulkers get completely wrapped up. And when Azag takes back to the air, the rangers with great weapons are going to find a new target. And over here there's a juicy blob of black orcs, which are going to be a fantastic target for rangers with great weapons. They don't have to be used solely on enemy lords or heroes or monsters. They are quite good against armored infantry as long as you give them line of sight. They can cause some pretty tremendous damage, and you're going to see these black orcs start to drop relatively quick, which is a big deal because otherwise these black orcs were dominating that fight, and now they're going to get absolutely owned. Look at how quickly they start to drop. So Greenskin's in a bit of trouble now because the dwarves are turning the tide on that infantry fight, and then all of their archers are being chased down by the relatively quick-moving Dragonback Slayers. There's some rangers with great weapons out here too, which for a dwarf, again, is fairly quick-moving. But the Slayers are having a hard time keeping up. but the Rangers have gotten in here and done the deed. They've cleaned up almost all of these greenskins. Azag, not happy with the situation. He's going to come down after Thorgrim, who's quite weak. But all the Rangers with great weapons. Now Thorgrim is going to take a beating in this process. And he's going to actually get routed, getting hit by a lot of his own axes. But Azag is slowly giving up the ghost here as he continues to land in range of those armor-piercing missiles. But if he doesn't, then Thorgrim lives and continues to buff his own army. Thorgrim comes back from routing here, actually. 275 hit points, not much. But as long as he's alive, he's helping. There's a Spirit Leech, though, and he's not going to be alive much longer. Goodbye, sweet king. You sleep in the mountain tonight. So yeah, the Goblin Archers are back. There's quite a few Greenskin infantry left here. They're fighting some Rangers with great weapons who are out of ammo. A decent use for them because they have armor-piercing weapon in melee and in ranged. Azag's going to take another volley from Rangers with great weapons. And here the Greenskin infantry is going to get surrounded while Azag continues to take fire and slowly but surely be whittled away. So Azag's in rough shape here. And the Greenskin infantry is actually still up against some tough odds here. Black Orcs are not. They've got to deal with Grumbling Guard and a lot of Rangers with great weapons and a Thane. All of which are relatively tough targets. The Archers are still being chased all over the place by the remaining Dwarf units. But at this point, Azag's getting pretty low. And as he attacks one target, he's being hit by another. Though I think the ammo is running very low for the Dwarves at this point, but obviously not gone. There goes Azag. I think that was their last volley. Actually, it was. Wow. Talk about clutch. These boar chariots came back from routing. I don't think they're going to be able to do too much. Chariots can be pretty devastating, but these guys took a beating too early on, and now they'll be a little too fragile to cause the damage needed. They would have needed to have charged and gotten out immediately instead of staying in combat. Actually, kind of surprised neither one of those chariots dropped right there, but they did rout. So at this point, it's really a mop-up operation on the Archers. These Knight Gobos over here, they're unbreakable. Let's fast forward and just kind of see what happens. So the Dwarves are forced into the chase now. They have to chase down the Goblin Archers. Greenskin units will be regrouping over here. Those unbreakable Knight Gobos surviving that fight. No big surprise. But a bunch of Dwarf units coming back as well. You can see there a few of the Black Orcs regrouped. The Greenskin player throwing in units. It's just not going to be enough. The Thane's still alive despite the death of Thorgrim. And the Greenskins go ahead and admit defeat. It's a pretty epic replay there. I like that one. That was from Woof Wowaz. He sent us some good stuff in the past. Hope you all enjoyed that one. Kind of a Ranger-themed army there. And I like how I spread the Rangers out. They weren't all in one spot where they're going to be easy to hit. They were somewhat unpredictable in where they were at. They took out infantry. They did damage to an enemy lord. Multitasked. His army had a ton of armor piercing. He was obviously intending to fight down Black Orcs. That's exactly what he had to do, though you'll see that the Black Orcs were winning pretty much regardless. If it hadn't been for those Rangers with great weapons getting around behind the lines and starting to wrap that fight up, Black Orcs are pound for pound way better than a lot of the Dwarf infantry if you just end up in a slug out. So yeah, it's a dangerous place to be for Longbeards and warriors with great weapons. But again, the combination of the two is a way to be more cost effective. Those Dragapack Slayers got a ton of kills as well. Anyway, like I said, hope you all enjoyed this one. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. Make sure you check the link in the description too. I'm giving away 5 copies of the Queen and the Crone DLC. All you gotta do is subscribe to the channel to enter, and there's a few other ways you can get some extra entries by watching videos. Nothing costs you anything. Go join it. Give yourself a chance to win the Steam code. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I will see you all back tomorrow.